Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So I had a question related with what if the Farina has been disturbed, or let's say you have rubbed off all of the Farina from the succulent. You did not know that it is Farina. You thought probably it's some kind of dust or probably powdery mildew, and you happen to clean the complete succulent of Farina. The question was, will the succulent die, or what are the problems that are going to come with that? Now, first off, you do not need to be worried. The succulent will not die if the Farina has been rubbed off. Even if it's completely gone, the succulent is still going to do quite well. And as and when there is going to be new growth, the Farina will start to come up on the newer leaves. So please don't rub that off as well. Now, a lot of people do say that Farina does come back. I am not very sure about that. In 8 to 9 years of keeping succulents, I haven't seen them coming back. So I don't know how it works, but I haven't seen Farina coming back. So be extremely careful. Whether it comes back, whether it doesn't come back, it's better not to rub it off to be on the safer side. Now, what are the problems that are going to come if you have rubbed off all of the Farina from the succulent? Now, basically, Farina tends to act like a sunscreen. You can put yourself into it and imagine going to a beach without sunscreen. What's going to happen? Of course, you are going to have sunburn, and that's what exactly is going to happen with the succulent. The succulent that was able to handle longer hours of direct sunlight, let's say the minimum is 5 to 6 hours, that is not much of an issue. But if the succulent had a lot of Farina on it, or if every leaf was loaded with Farina, it can even handle 6 to 7 hours or even 7 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. But now that the Farina is completely rubbed off, it's better not to expose it for that long, because otherwise the leaves will get burnt. Now, apart from this, the Farina, which is a waxy coating on the succulent, also protects the succulents from fungus, pest, insects, whatever you call it. But now the risk is going to be a little bit more. Now again guys, let me tell you, it is not 100% proof that if your succulent has a good amount of Farina, it is completely protected from fungus or pest. There is a small chance, because it all depends upon your care. If you are not giving that proper care, even a succulent that has Farina can get affected with fungus or pest, especially if the succulent is not getting a lot of light. Succulents that have Farina need a good amount of light, whether it's in a form of direct morning sunlight or indirect bright light with a very good intensity. In case if the succulent does not get a lot of light, a succulent with Farina will stretch a little bit more faster as compared to others. And when a succulent with Farina starts to stretch, the mealybugs will start to attack it first. As I've shown you in my other video as well, a succulent with Farina is going to look very matte, but when it does not receive a lot of light, it starts looking very glossy, and that is when the mealybugs will attack a plant like this. So you have to be extremely careful. One is you have to offer them a good amount of light. Now, another thing about Farina, as I said, it is a waxy coating. Let's say that you have dropped some water onto the succulent crown area. So this is how it's going to react. You can see it tends to turn into a round droplet, and that's because of the waxy coating. And this can be easily blown off with the help of a blower. So you could see how easy it was for that water droplet to just get off the leaf, and that's probably how it works in nature. There is a lot of strong wind. The water tends to turn into a ball like this, and because of that strong wind, it tends to fall off from the succulent without damaging the succulent leaves. Now over here I have another succulent. Now this succulent of course does not have any Farina. Now if I'm going to add water onto this, I'm not going to add water on the crown area, but I'll just show it to you on the leaves in the side. Now in this case, as you can see, the water tends to stay on the leaves, and this can easily burn the leaves. So when there is no Farina, this is exactly how the water is going to stay in between the leaves, and this is very risky. It can either give you a sunburn on the leaves, or there could be some fungal infection that can happen with the water staying in between the leaves. So it's very important to clean off that water, and it is not very easy to get rid of that water because it kind of sticks to the leaves, so it's very difficult. So overall, if your succulent has lost the farina, there are going to be a couple of problems. One, the succulent is not going to die, so please don't be worried. As in, when the new leaves will start to grow, the farina will come back. But the ones where the farina is already disturbed or where the farina is already rubbed off, that farina is not going to come back, but it is going to come back on the new growth or on the new leaves. Your succulent will no longer be able to handle longer hours of direct sunlight. The water is not going to roll off from the leaves, which means it's going to be a little bit difficult to clean or to blow off that water. Ideally, if there is farina, it's very easy to blow off that water, but now you'll have to be even more careful, because if the water tends to stay on the leaves and if there is direct sunlight, there is a high chance that your succulent leaf will get burnt. Apart from that, your plant is going to be at a little bit higher risk of getting affected with fungus or mealybugs because it no longer has that protective layer on it. So these are all the problems that are going to come along with if the succulent happens to lose all of that farina on it. So just be very careful. The number one reason why the farina will get disturbed is, of course, if you are touching the leaves quite often, because we have natural oil on our fingertips that can leave a print on the leaves and disturb the farina. Secondly, if you're using any kind of insecticides or pesticides that contain a lot of oil, especially neem oil, that will disturb the farina, that will destroy the entire farina on the leaf or on the succulent if it is sprayed too much. So that's why I advise never to spray neem oil. Oil is something that tends to disturb the farina. Oil is something that will get rid of that waxy coating. That is one reason why we tend to use neem oil. Remember, the mealybugs, they also have a similar waxy coating on them which tends to protect them. Once that coating is dissolved, that is when the mealybug will no longer survive, probably for a day or so, but it will eventually die. And that is why we tend to use neem oil. It is the same effect what it's going to come up on your succulent. Of course, the succulent is not going to die immediately, but it is going to destroy all of that waxy coating. Oil tends to dissolve that waxy coating, so we need to be extremely careful. That's why never use neem spray or neem oil onto the succulent leaves. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.